been making any content lately because mostly there's not a lot to talk about. I could talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows. I have no interest in talking about that. But man, this DSP content. Let's talk about that. So, DSP is a content creator I regularly pay attention to. Now, I pay attention to the sense that I use third-party people, so people like Raw Phil, stuff like that, to check out on the streams every once in a while. But this whole Kino Casino story, my God, man, the level the level of intelligence DSP has, how lonely this man really is, it's so fucking transparent. Like, it's gotten to the point that I honestly think Phil actually thinks they were his friends at one point. Even though he, obviously has been damage controlling it, saying, this is part of my plan the whole time. I was going to get back at them. I was going to be the king snake. I was going to draw people in. I was going to, then bite them. And, it's part of my plan. So what happened? Let's actually get the story out of the way. For a while now, for the last, I believe it's been about 4+ months, DSP has been appearing on Kino Casino. He's been working with the guys on that show, more on Triple P than Ashton. I think that's the other guy's name. I'm not 100% sure. That might be Triple P's name. Either way, Triple P and DSP have had, a run for a bit. Recently, though, there was a bit of a falling out regarding DSP's wife, Kat, and how Triple P would constantly call her Fat Cat and names. Well, DSP obviously is, the peak of masculinity. And of course, when someone starts making fun of his wife, he starts getting upset about it. But the funny thing is, Triple P made fun of Phil all the time. Like, oh my God. You guys should see some of the things he said to Phil. He would make subtle references that just went right over Phil's head. And for a while now, we've all speculated at some point these two were going to have a breakup, and they did. Essentially, they broke up because DSP was like, "You can't make fun of my wife," blah 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 blah, stuff like that. Which is I kind of agree. Not going after the wife, it's nothing to do with the stuff he's doing. But at the same time, it's Triple P, Phil. You know how this man thinks. So it's not going to be that hard to realize he knows you don't care if you make fun of him. But if he goes after your wife, he knows you're going to care. It's basic psychology. So, basically on last Wednesday, because I'm recording this on Saturday, DSP basically exposed their DMs. And he had Review Tech USA on there, who was also a frequent target of Kino Casino on there. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now. First off, how the hell does DSP make Review Tech USA look normal? Listen, man, I do not like Review Tech USA. I do not like Rich. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't like him. I think he's kind of a scumbag. But at the same time, I think Phil's a bigger scumbag somehow. How do you sit there in a chat with Review Tech USA, and somehow you're the one who looks worse? Rich, the whole time he's there, because he wasn't there for very long, by the way. This whole thing was originally hyped up as oh my God, DSP's gonna, talk to Review Tech USA for the first time in, publicly ever. And then, Phil's like, no, this is actually me flipping the script. I'm rubbing the casino. And it's just fucking Review Tech USA just sitting there kind of why am I here? Legit, it literally looked like he was why am I here then? And he the whole time Phil's trying to be oh, this is my plan the whole time. I was gonna burn these guys, and that's my plan the whole time. And I got Rich here so he could hear it from the source. And you could tell Rich does not give a crap about Kino Casino. He knows they're not gonna like him, and he's not gonna like them. So it's better to divide up and just walk away. And from what I know about Review Tech USA, he doesn't bring up Kino Casino. But for some reason, Phil thought Review Tech USA wanted to be on that whole thing. And it's just okay, clearly you don't know who Rich is then, Phil. Because even I, listen, I'm going to be real here. I could be petty as hell. But even the stuff you were bringing up, like these DMs, were just like, okay, it actually makes you look more like an ass than them. Like, and the thing is, like, Phil, this whole time is saying there going, I faked this. This was all lies. When you hear some of the shit he fucking faked, I, I don't know how you think this makes you come out a winner, dude. Like, there's literally a point where he talks about Cat potentially having some kind of terminal disease. He says, it's not cancer, but I'm worried it could be at some point. He talks about his mother supposedly on her deathbed, probably not going to last a year. And yeah, he lied about that. It's like, dude, it's so ironic too, because DSP hates Boogie. Remember that whole Boogie situation where he faked cancer? But guess what? Phil did the same thing. Like, literally. The only difference is, I guess Boogie begged for money and Phil didn't because he was trying to keep it private. But wait, if it's all a lie, then it's kind of the same thing. It's more fucked up. Like, it's just, I don't get how this man thinks. I don't. Like, I sat there the whole time, like, watching this shit. I was on a fucking podcast with, Samurai Rice, or formerly known as Like Some Rice. Go check him out. I'll post a link in the description. And I was just, like, in shock. I was in shock. Oh, yeah, Zombie Fan was there, too. Sorry, Zombie Fan. But I was like, dude, how do you do this? How do you make Review Tech USA look normal? And then the cherry on top, because this was all in response of Kino Casino saying they were going to talk to It's a Gundam on Friday, which, was yesterday. Again, recording this on a Saturday. And basically, Phil leaked out the DMs. So they're like, well, now we don't have to worry about him coming after us for leaking the DMs because he put it out there. He even had freaking, like, a link to it for people to go check out for themselves. And, like, the whole time, it was so surreal. It was so surreal. Because, by the way, Rich actually got kicked off because he was just like, dude, this is fucking bullshit. And he was trying to, like, hold Phil's feet about, like, to be honest, some stupid shit. But it was like, overall, like, he was trying to be like, Phil, no one should trust you when you say shit like this, because it's obviously, you're not a trustworthy guy. And then Phil just kicked him off. But going back to the Friday show, or I guess technically going forward, first off, funny as hell show. It's a Gundam. Listen, much as I can sit here and say I don't like It's a Gundam when it comes to the political stuff, the man can make me laugh. Like, just some of the shit that comes out of his mouth, it's just like pure fucking gold. And then you get guys like fucking Triple P in there, the whole Kino Casino crew. It's a good time. And this whole time I'm listening to the podcast, and I'm like, this is what Phil should have done. Yeah, this is honestly, in my opinion, what DSP should have done. He should have came on to Kino Casino and just talked it out. Because this whole thing about it being a plan, obviously a lie. Everyone can smell it. I can smell it. You can smell it. Triple P can smell it. It's a Gundam can smell it. Review Tech USA can fucking smell it. The Truth Seeker show, they can smell it. By the way, that whole thing too, just absolutely roasted DSP. Because yeah, again, it's so easy to expose him when he's lying because he's not a good liar. Like, apparently, like, now we know he's like some kind of code in freaking wherever he lives. I actually forget what part of the state he lives in. God damn it. He lives next to Redmond. He lives in Redmond. Okay, and we know he's like a mental case. Like, they actually talk about there's a police officer that I think it was Brosai Phil got his hands on, talked to, and said like he's a mental case because. I guess like the few interactions he's had with the police, he talks about the detractors. And I think this all goes back to something that's very important to talk about. And that's just like, you need to have interactions with people who don't agree with you. Okay? This is something I feel kind of gets lost these days. Because it's such an easy thing to be a shut-in. Even I, a guy who rarely walks outside, will tell you right now, I'm a shut-in. But I interact with people online and people on calls that disagree with me because that helps kind of rein in your bad behavior. But with Phil, he doesn't do any of that. Literally, this is a man, the only social interactions this man has is either you giving him money or his wife. As far as we know, he does not talk to his parents. As far as we know, he doesn't talk to any of Kat's, extended family. The only social interactions this man has is when he's asking people for money and his wife. And even then, his wife sounds like she's about done with his ass. Like, some of the DMs, what they were talking about, it was like, dude, honestly, Kat sounds like pissed off. And like, I get it why she'd be pissed off. Apparently, Phil later confirmed, I think it was actually last night, where he was talking about like how Kat was mad at him because he went onto the Truth Seekers podcast, and she said like that made you look really bad, and I guess like he ate shit for it, for the whole day, and it's like, how positive of a relationship can that be when your significant other is even like, dude, why the fuck did you do that? Like, this whole thing, man, just like, it reeks of someone who has little social interaction as possible. Little interactions with the outside world. He's actually, I believe he's gotten more politically stupid. Like, I'm not going to get into the politics stuff, but like, some of the shit this man says is like, it literally screams to me like incel behavior. Like, I'm not going to get into like the Stellar Blaze stuff and like how he seems to be like almost scared for other woman to be on the screen. I want you guys to think about that. We now know Kat could get aggressive. We now know Kat could get mean towards Phil. And now more recently, Phil's like, he doesn't want to have, play these sexy games where, you have a girlfriend or something. It's like, do you guys think Kat's kind of controlling Phil behind the scenes? And not even that much of a subtle, difference? Because, like, it's so weird. Like, this is the definition of someone who lives in their own bubble, occasionally gets people who are in other bubbles coming in, and then kicks them out immediately. Like, he's literally the definition of a shut-in at this point. Very little interaction with anyone else in the world, and it's honestly sad. But at the same time, he had it coming. I honestly say this right now to any DSP, supporters out there. Future TPG might have to cut this out because I might have to sneeze. I say this to any DSP supporters out there. And it's something that's simple. Don't support this guy. He really, at the end of the day, what is DSP doing that is worthy of your support? I'm going to tell you right now. What do I do that's worthy of anyone's support? I like to think I entertain people. I like to think I make people funny with my cringe jokes. But I don't sit here and ask for money. I don't sit here beg for money. You could go to any content creator out there. You come to my channel. You go to other people's channels like Rice's, Zombie Fans, so on and so forth. Or Diz. You can go to any of these guys' channels and you can have a much better experience and it costs you nothing. What does DSP do that's really that compelling? Or even that original anymore? His streams are boring as hell. Legit, the only stream I've ever listened to DSP is the one with Review Tech USA. And even then, it was more while I was playing Death Stranding 2. I'm going to put Death Stranding 2. For some reason, I thought I had that game in the future. Death Stranding 1. When you can make Death Stranding 1 somehow exciting and more entertaining than your stream, there's a problem. The Amazon Prime delivery simulator should not be more entertaining than your fucking your podcast, and it is. I don't get it anymore. I really don't. Why does anyone support this guy? And this is a serious question. Why does anyone support him anymore? And it's really because I think it comes to one little simple fact. It's just one thing he did. He did it early. He didn't do it the best. He didn't do it, even the worst. He did it first. All this content creation he's done over the years, he did it first, and he's now the worst at it. I think that's why he has his fans. I don't see entertainment value in DSP, but I've talked about that before. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this whole situation. It's absolutely hilarious to me that DSP still, for some reason, has the ego of someone who actually matters. He literally reminds me right now of kind of like someone like Elon Musk, where he's like, they think they're the hottest shit in the world, but really they're just a nuisance to the fucking world. But that's my thoughts on Elon Musk. So yeah, that's my thoughts and everything. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section and below. You know, do you guys support DSP? Do you hate DSP? What's your thoughts on this whole thing? And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube hour of MBS. Bye.